Hello, hello, hello. This is Sou-lasian God of Fate. I'm here today to talk about my thoughts about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and as well as give some outlandish or wish list requests. As far as my thoughts, it echoes everybody else. This game is amazing. It exceeds my expectations. They go above and beyond what I thought they would do. Um, I pretty much don't have any issue with it. None at all. I 100% trust the team and what they're doing with the game. Even when it comes to the story, of course, I have my own theory, and I'm delighted to see they have included something that reminisces of my theory, but it also reminisces of other people's theories. So, and because their hopes is that no one predicts the ending of what I would call Rebirth sequel. Other content creators may call it part three, but I think the correct dub name now is Rebirth sequel for it. Uh, they don't want anybody to predict the ending, so that's the. I figured they wouldn't that way. That's the reason I put out my theory stuff before I even knew touch Rebirth. Uh, I will not be doing any predictions for the final game. I will be surprised for what they do have. Um, Not that long ago, a couple months ago, a few months ago, people put out what is Final Fantasy. I can say without the doubt, Rebirth is what Final Fantasy is. It's a RPG through and through. And the RPG for me is that one person's gameplay can look totally different than another person's gameplay, and the way you help that out is that one person can work on their combat skills while the other person can work on side quests while the other person can work on playing mini games or whatever. You If you go on YouTube and you pop on anybody's gameplay after an hour or after 2 hours or whatever, and you can see they doing totally different things, and you wouldn't know how that person got to that, maybe working with that materia, doing that side quest, while the other one is in the story, while the other one is playing this mini game that you didn't know about. This is what an RPG is. This is you Everybody who play the game is at a different point doing a different thing. It's nothing two people can really say it is the same. No kind of layout is the same. Even if it would take a while, even if you do watch somebody and they do it a certain way, you would have to backtrack a little to get all the stuff that they need in order for you to get to the point where you could play the game the same way they are, or get to where they are. Um, this game showed us things that I couldn't imagine, like a Gaga. You know, that was totally new for us new players. I mean, for us OG players, that was totally new, and it was a present surprise. I agree with a lot of people that that's for us. That's the best, only because it's new, and they did put a lot of attention into that detail. So that's new. My only thing with this is is there's a few things that I kind of wish they add in, and that's but like I said, I'm sure they're on it. So I instead of doing a normal wish list for part three, I think I wanted to do a outlandish wish list, things that most likely they will not do, but if there's a chance they could add it into the game, they could do that. Um, One of the things that I was hoping for Rebirth, the first outlandish thing, one of the things I was hoping for Rebirth was that they have a most epic opening like they had with OG. And I know that's a tall task to put in there, but I would like opening a epic opening. Rebirth opening was very good. It was a good opening. Um, it was a good open, but is it what it was it iconic opening as OG opening? Um, I would. It probably wasn't. So my first thing on the wish list is for it to be a iconic opening. Um, Speaking of openings, speaking of what's something that they may put in, I would love to see. I would love to see more side quests. My second wish list, more side quests that adds to the story. Those who played the game know that the Cosmo Canyon Proto Raric side quest did answer some questions of the story. I would love to see a story, and it don't have to be the story about the main story that going on with Final Fantasy. Gagaga had a story, side quest story that related to Zack a little bit. So it could be about these other characters. It could be about Angel. It could be about a side quest about you know different people over the compilation. It don't have to be the main characters all the time. It could be, any other people from Ever Crisis, people from Before Crisis, things that connect to different compilations and side quests. I would like to see more of that. Even though like I said, the side quest was great, and it 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 went over my expectations. I would like to, if I wanted to be ridiculous with my wish list, I would just say more of that, more side quests with that's related to the stories of these other characters in the background. All right, and then the a third ridiculous request. Um, I kind of want to see a ancient versus Genova war. Now, I said in the beginning I want to up it opening. Maybe they could put it there. Maybe they could start with, I don't know who they would have leading the ancients. Maybe Minerva. Maybe Shiva. I don't know, but I would like to see a war, between there. Now, spoilers, if you played Rebirth, they evolved humans in it, but Genova could be controlling the humans. Also, she could be controlling monsters, and I would like to see the ancients using their magic, using their summons, finding Genova, using her magical skills and monsters. And I would like to see that epic battle between the two. of them warring. Maybe even Nova actually getting frozen, of course. But of course, that takes money to and time to make. So, and of course, I would like the game for the, as I put in my other video, for the 30th anniversary, which is pretty much less than 3 years from now, or about 3 years from now. So that would be a tall, another ridiculous tall order to make, but still, that's something I would like for the Rebirth sequel. Um, Speaking of Genova, I would love to know the origin of Genova. Now, I have my theory on the origin of Genova, but because Minerva and Genova name are similar, there might be the devs might already have a idea of where they want to have the origin of Genova. But I would like to know the origin of Genova if possible, if that's a possible thing for them to do. Other than Genova is just an alien. I would like to know more about Genova. Okay, and then the fourth, no, the fifth, the fifth outlandish wish list thing is, even though I'm a man of a particular age, I'm not good at the online game. I mean the mini games. I would love games like Queen Blood that I can actually play against other associates online. Now, again, this will take money and time, so it's outlandish wish list idea, and it probably will not happen because I don't want them going broke trying to make this game online, have online feature like that. But it would be pretty cool if I can play against other real RNL Final Fantasy VII players with Queen's Blood. And one associate, one content creator, David, talking about, oh, you could start it with a coin toss or whatever. That would still be computer generated kind of thing. I would say you could just, it could be pick a number between 1 and 10, and the one that's closest to the number without going over gets to start or get to choose if they start or go second. I think that's better, a little bit better than a coin toss, because a coin toss is one way or another. And so that leaves it more easier, more room to be flexible. Picking a number through 1 and 10, and the closest one without going over will be the best way if you did play opponent online against each other. All right, so my next outlandish wish list is one of the things that bothered me from the OG. When you get the huge materia, you get the red one, you get the yellow one, you get the blue one, you get the green one. But what bothered me is you don't see a purple huge materia, and I want to know why there isn't a purple huge materia. I wish we can actually get a purple huge materia, and I'll tell you what we can do with it in one of my other ridiculous wish list things later on. But I'm hoping that this game have a purple huge materia. Right now, spoilers. It seems like the huge materia are strongly related to the weapons. It could be wrong. It could be just a misdirection in the story, but Right now, that's what it seems like. So it so it may not happen because it looked like it's just four weapons. So in actuality, I think it was wait how many? But other than chaos, I think it was five. It's five weapons from the OG, if I'm not mistaken. It's five, but weapons. So it would match up, I would think, with the huge materia, because there's five main colors other than the black and white, of course. But yeah, so there's five weapons, so maybe there's five hues materia. All right, so that's basically what I want. I want a purple hues material. And this is what I think that Rebirth is missing. That we as RPG players love. We love when there's certain hidden things that happen based on who you have in your party or what you're wearing or things like that. For example, in the OG, like Rude wouldn't attack Tifa because he liked her, things like that. So I'm hoping that in Rebirth, for let's say, well, not Rebirth, but Rebirth sequel. But use Rebirth as an example. Say, for example, the last battle with Sephiroth. Say that you have Odin in your as Cloud summon, and say Cloud summons Odin, and Odin starts to do his final attack, and Odin does his final attack, but Sephiroth kill him, and and Cloud's able to pick up Odin's sword, and that would be his Cloud's ultimate secret sword in this game, and no one would ever know that unless they actually have Odin equipped to Cloud, and Cloud actually use Odin summon, and Odin summon does his final attack during the Sapphire fight, that he would ever get that sword. So something like that, I would want special events that can only happen under very certain circumstances. I think that would make a lot of us, well, we'll put it pretty much full circle. The third game for and so speaking of which, like for example, let's say that the when you fight the ultimate weapon, which is a flying weapon, fight the ultimate weapon. Say if you have a Bahamut summon in there, maybe a special cutscene of a Bahamut and ultimate weapon, Bahamut Zero, and the ultimate weapon start fighting, something like that. And like I said, that only can happen if you have a certain material or a certain equipment on, or whatever you may have. I want more special secret things that even if people get a review copy ahead of time, unless they do something a certain way, or under a certain circumstance, they this special event or cutscene or what have you will not happen. Something that people may discover years later. Now with the internet, that's not going to happen, but but at least that it may be a weeks or a month, later, that someone discovered this secret event that happens under this certain circumstance. And now for my last ridiculous, outlandish request. You remember how I said I wanted a huge purple material, and that would make it at least 5 huge materials. So I was thinking, since we was going to be fighting the weapons, why not use mechas to fight them, and use the huge materials to power them. And maybe those mechas will come together and form a big mecha. And maybe the last secret purple materia can go into the high wind. Go into the high wind, and the high wind will connect those other mechas that the materials in, and make a big mecha that fights the kaiju. The kaijus in a battle. That I think that would be fun. That would be outlandish and fun, thing to have. So that is all of my thoughts and wish lists for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like I said, this game, I beat the game. I did most of the content up to chapter 11. I'm going to go back before I do hard mode. Go back, finish the basic content, and then replay it on hard mode to get as close to the platinum as possible. But I know I can't with the mini games, which is good, because this is how RPG should be. That there's different sides of it that different people can play and feel happy about it. All right, I'll catch you later.